songs of the Lord rise among us. Let the joy of our King rise among us. Let it rise. Oh, let it rise. Sing on. Oh, let it rise. Let the glory of the Lord rise. Let the glory rise among us. Let the praises rise. Oh, the glories of the Lord rise. The glories rise among us. Let the praises rise. Crying on. Let the songs of the rise. Let the joy of our King rise. Oh, let the songs of the Lord rise. The songs of the Lord rise among us. Let the joy rise. Oh, to let it rise. Crying on. Oh, let it rise. Sing it again. To let it rise. To let it rise. Down through the years, the Lord's been good to me. Oh, yeah. The Lord's been good to me. Singing down through the years, the Lord. I'm here to tell you that the Lord's really been good to me. Oh, down through the years, the Lord's been good to me. Oh, down, the Lord's been good to me. Singing down of the Lord. I'm here to tell you that the Lord's really been good to me. That old devil had me bound, but the Lord's been good to me. Oh, devil, but the Lord's been good to me. That old devil, but the Lord, I'm here to tell you that the Lord's really been good to me. Well, I know I got good religion. I didn't get it in no dream. But shake me, wake me in the midnight hour, and I'll tell you everything I seen. I'm here to tell you that down through the years, the Lord's been good to me. Oh, down, the Lord's been good to me. Singing down, the Lord. I'm here to tell you that the Lord
just fix me. Come on and fix me, if you please. If you can't fix me while I'm standing up, then I'll bow down on my knees. I'm here to tell you that down through the year, the Lord's been good to me. Hold down, the Lord, singing down, the Lord. I'm here to tell you that the Lord's been good. I'm here to tell you the Lord, yes, He's been good. Oh, Lord's been good, so good to me.
Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Lord, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh Lord, whatever. Don't do it. Don't do it. Lord, if you're blessing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Lord, if you're blessing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. If you're blessing, oh, please don't do it. Don't do it. Lord, don't do it. No, don't do it. Lord, if you're healing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Lord, if you're healing in this season, please don't do it without me. Don't do it without me. Oh, please don't do it. if you're healing. Don't do it. Oh, don't do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't do it. No, 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 don't do it. Don't do it. No, 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 don't do it. Oh, don't do it without me.
God, if you're healing, blessing, delivering, don't do it without me. I want to be a part of all of your goodness. This morning, I want to ask you a question. How many of you, at some time or another, feel as though you could do a better job than God? Huh? Am I getting in trouble? How many of you, at some time or another, feel that you can do a better job than God? We all do, at one time or another. If it's snowing outside, we want summer. If it's raining outside, we want sunshine. If it's cold outside, we'll turn the heat up. If it gets too hot, Lord, I'll be glad when winter comes. There are those times when we think we can do a better job than God. There was a man, a good man, his name was Job. Job had everything a person could want. Job had more riches than you and I could ever expect to have. And one day, the devil was talking with God. They were talking. And God said, you see my servant Job? That's a good man right there. Or maybe if the name had been Jobette, that's a good woman right there. They trust me. And the devil said, yeah, because you give them everything. Don't you like folk who give you everything? Huh? Grandchildren love their grandparents because they give them everything. Mom and daddy might say no, but grandma said yes. You have given him everything. He has wealth. He has material possessions. He has a good family. He has health. Take some of that away from him, and I'll bet he'll cuss you slap out. God said, all right, but don't kill him. And pretty soon, Job is standing there, and somebody come in, Mr. Job, I hate to tell you this, but your son was having a house party, and all your children dead. Wait a minute, Mr. Job, I hate to tell you this, but your house just caught on fire and everything burning. Mr. Job, wait a minute, your cattle were stolen. Mr. Job. Every time Job turned around, something wrong was going on. You ever had that in your life? You wake up one morning and ain't nothing going right and seem like it just goes wrong and down the hill for the rest of the day. Job finally lost his health, and he's sitting there covered in sores. All of his friends think that Job has sinned, and Job wants to talk to God. You ever want to talk to God? I mean, just sit down and face to face with him and tell him your side of the story. Job wanted to have a conversation, a one-on God, a tete-a-tete with God, to tell God his side of the story. Job's friends come and they tell him, well, Job, you must have done something wrong. God only punishes folk who sin. You must have sinned real bad, Job. And don't we do that? Y'all know we do that. You let something happen to somebody, and the first thing we do is go to the color purple. God trying to tell you something. That's what his friends were saying. But Job said, I just need to be able to speak to God for myself, to tell him my side of the story. Job's wife had already come to him and said, why don't you just curse God and die? And parenthetically, that mean on the side, we have given her some bad press. Everybody seems to think that Miss Job was terrible because she told her husband to curse God and die. But have you ever thought Miss Job lost her 10 children too? Miss Job lost her cattle too. Miss Job lost her possessions too. And now Miss Job's husband had lost his health. She was so concerned about him that she would rather he die than be in the condition he was in. And I think that's why she said, just go and curse God and die. But Job was able to say to her, and remember last week I talked about nothing. Job was able to say to her, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I didn't come here with nothing, and I'm not going out of here with nothing. But God gets tired of us sometime. Y'all ever think we get on God's nerves? You know how your husband or your wife or your children or your grandchildren get on your nerves? Anybody ever get on your nerves? I'm talking about that third nerve. That's sort of like the New York City subway third rail. When you get on it, some sparks gonna fly. Job had just about gotten on God's third nerve. And God decided he wanted to have a conversation with Job. Now, you and I are going to eavesdrop on that conversation. Some of you may remember we used to have these telephones back in the day where you had to put your finger in that round piece and it went around till you dial your 7 numbers. But you didn't have cell phones and private phones. You had what was known as a party line. It might be 5 or 6 people on that line. And when the phone rang in Ramona's house, it would ting in my house. And what did we do? Everybody ran to the phone and put their hand over the mouth and was listening in on all Ramona's business. And before she could say anything, we had already gone to the back door and told somebody. We're going to eavesdrop this morning on God and Job. God says to Job in the 38th chapter, he answered him out of a whirlwind. God says to Job, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined the measurements of the earth? Surely you know. You want to talk to me about it. Who stretched out the line of the earth? Or in what were the bases of the earth sunk? Or who laid its cornerstone? When the morning stars sang together and all the heavenly beings rejoiced, who shut the doors on the sea? Who put all of the creatures in the sea? Can you tell me that, Job? Can you tell me that, St. Matthew? Who is the one who knows where the place where snow comes from? Can you go there? Can you make snow? Who is the one that opens up the heaven and allows the rain to fall or stops the rain and sends a rainbow? Do you know that, St. Matthews? Tell me, who is it that created everything that there is? out of nothing. Can you tell me that, Job? Can you tell me how many hairs are on your head? Can you tell me, St. Matthews, what I am going to do in the blink of an eye? God is saying to Job, and God is saying to us, there is none but God. I don't care how much we want to be like God. I don't care how many God-like qualities we possess, because they are not true qualities. They are not genuine qualities, because we are not God. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? There is none, my brothers and sisters, like God. God is able to do far more than we could ever ask or imagine, the writer of Ephesians 4 says. God is able to bring healing to these old bodies of ours. God is able to straighten out crooked limbs, unstop deaf ears, loosen tongues, open blind eyes. God is able to love us enough to give his only son to die for us. None but God can do that. If we look at Hebrews 5, the writer of Hebrews 5 is talking about this great priest like Melchizedek. And even priests, preachers, evangelists, apostles, whatever you want to call them, have faults. All of us, the Bible tells us, have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So it doesn't matter whether we carry the cross, wear the robe, read the Bible, sing the song, usher at the door. It doesn't matter. There is none but God who can save us from our own stupid selves. How many times has God had to pull me out because of my own arrogance, because of my own desire to be God? How many times has God had to pull me out of a ditch because I did something dumb, something stupid, and found myself falling? You know, I'm glad that God is God all by himself. Because if I had to depend on humankind, I'm afraid I'd be in trouble. And so would all the rest of us. Because all we have to do is look at somebody wrong. All we have to do is use the wrong tone of voice in speaking to somebody. All we have to do is just put our hands on our hips, and you know how we do that, talk to the hand. That's all we have to do, and we would be consigned to the fires of hell. But because God is God, and there is none but God, our sins are forgiven, our lives are saved, our bodies are healed, and we are restored. If you read the end of the book of Job, you will find that Job and Miss Job had more children. You will find that Job had more land, more cattle, more possessions than he had at the beginning. And I'm going to tell you something. This is personal. I don't mind sharing with you. When I get paid and I get all them bills that the mailman delights in bringing me, I sit down and I divide them into 2 piles, the 15th and the 30th. Now, one of them might say the due date is the 28th, but I figure that ain't but, 48 hours they can wait. When I write the checks, the first one off is the St. Matthew. my tithes. And then I go along with all the rest of them for the 15th. And do you know, I find myself having more money at the end than I did at the beginning. That's because God is a provider. He will supply all of our needs. No matter what our needs are, God will supply them. And like with the lad with the loaves and the fish, there'll be some left over. Thanks be to God for his mercy. So be it. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the blessed Holy Spirit.